Hey there everybody, RedX Parasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. In the last episode, we wrapped up the Data Org fights and defeated Lingering Will. So the last two objectives on my list of things to do. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you some of the odds and ends that I did not do during the course of the LP, just so you can see what full completion looks like. This is my primary save file, if you couldn't tell from the 82.5 hours on it. A lot of those hours have been re-challenging Data Org and Lingering Will, because, you know, I'm a masochist and I have fun doing that. But this is also the file that I got the completion on to unlock the secret ending. And hence, you can see it has the full completion on all of the things. So I'm going to go through the journal to start. I'll go through all of the missions and minigames. So Twilight Town, we just have to do a lot of the minigames that Roxas did again. Those are the majority of the things that I missed. There's also struggle battles, so you have to obviously get to Cypher and beat him and get 200 points for that particular requirement. One thing you'll also notice is that basically all the worlds have a skateboard minigame that I did not do, and there's a point requirement associated with all of those as well. Radiant Garden, we did do some of those. Obviously these are all the Data Org fights. Mushrooms. Beast Castle does not really have a lot of stuff in it. For the Coliseum, this will show off all of the point totals that you need for the cups in order to meet the requirements. Some of them get pretty high, like the Paradox battles, like the Titan Cup and the Hades Cup. Both pretty high, but as long as you use that Stitch exploit, those aren't too difficult to hit. Agrabah, there's some stuff with the Magic Carpet. 100 Acre Wood obviously is a hub of minigames. None of which I did more than once. Of course, in Atlantica, you just have to do everything again. That's not too difficult. Port Royal. Just the mushrooms, I think. Space Paranoids has the light cycle. Disney Castle. For this one, investigate the mysterious entranceway. I believe you will get this just for attempting the Lingering Will fight. I don't believe you have to beat it in order to get this one, but if you're trying to 100% the journal, you will have to beat Lingering Will to get that character link. So it's still technically required. Here you can see minigame times for this file. Obviously, on some of these, I've definitely gotten much better times. Like mail delivery for sure. And probably on poster duty as well. Junk sweep. I think that's... You might be able to do it in 3, but like I think that's the absolute maximum. Of course, there's all of the Coliseum Cups. You can see what scores I got on that one. I got 22,000. Nearly 500 on that one. Not much else to add about these. Then, did all the limits. So, synthesis notes. This doesn't really tell you too much, aside from there are a total of 60 different types of synthesis materials. You've seen some of the collection lists when we talked to the Moogle. Whenever you get items for turning things in, that is a collection list. And then there are a total of 59 synthesis recipes that you can make. So in order to actually show off that, I'm going to locate the nearest Moogle. There might be easier to get Moogles from save points in other worlds, but I'm already here, so... I know there's one over here in the marketplace. So go to the synthesis menu. I haven't really talked about this that much, so this is kind of my opportunity to do that. But below you can see these are all the synthesis materials that you can get, and the game shows you how many you've collected. And they're broken down into categories, so there's, you know, blazing, frost, lightning, lucid, power, dark, dense, twilight, and mithril for the regular kinds. And those all have kind of 4 different tiers, which I believe from lowest to highest is shard, stone, gem, and then crystal. And let's see, outside of those are kind of your typical stuff. Some of the harder things to find are the remembrance or the tranquility ones. And then probably the sets at the bottom are by far the hardest. So Lost Illusion, you may have seen, you get those for doing some of the data org fights, so that's how you can farm those. Or Calcums, the only way to get those outside of being able to find them in chests is you can get them from the bulky vendors. If you do the very last reaction command on the bulky vendors, you can get orichalcums that way. As far as the orichalcum pluses go, there are only seven of them in the game. They are tied to specific actions. I have done most of those. So like completing Atlantica is one. You find, I think, 1 or 2 of them in chests. Future me could probably like put up on screen how to get all of them. They are required for a specific recipe, which I'll get into momentarily. And then Manifest Illusions. You get those for beating Lingering Will. You can also synthesize them. But what you're looking at there, the reason I have 27 of them is primarily from defeating Lingering Will. I've done it, you know, only a handful of dozens of times. But anyways, this is the creations list, so this will show you all the things that you have synthesized in the past. So in my case, since I've synthesized everything, this will have the complete list of 59. You can just start off with all of the items at the top here. All these gems, these are synthesis items, so you can synthesize the mithril ones, which you may need to do because they're not as easy to find as some of the other ones. So here's the Manifest Illusion recipe. You can also synthesize armor. There's a bunch of different armor pieces that you can get, and I actually do have some of them. I'll show them off in a minute once I leave this menu. And of course, there are accessories as well. And once again, some of these accessories are pretty much better than anything you're going to find in the game naturally, so if you are interested in doing synthesis, there are some pretty good rewards for doing it. Of course, towards the bottom are the weapons. So there are 2 each for Donald and Goofy. Donald's best weapon is Save the Queen here. There's also a plus variant which has a slightly different effect on it. I'll show this off once I leave this menu. For Goofy, it's Frozen Pride and Save the King. And of course, perhaps the most important synthesis recipe in the game, the Ultima weapon. So this is where you need those 7 orichalcum pluses for, as well as a host of other things. You can see everything that you need right here. I don't have any Serenity Crystals, but I have almost everything else that I would need to make another Ultimate Keyblade. If you go into free development, this will be populated with things you can synthesize, you know, unless you've created everything like I have. Same thing with the recipes. Any recipes that you get from various places will show up here until you've actually synthesized them. This is a full list of materials. This shows how many you actually have in the shop at the moment. So actually, I guess, yeah, that 27 number for the Manifest Illusions was how many I've obtained total. And I have 14 now. I'm clearly hurting for that. And then this materials log is what we saw at the beginning. So this shows how many that you've collected total for each of these different kinds of things. There's also a breakdown at the top of the, total number of each type and tier for a little bit easier reading. So this list menu, this shows the collection lists. So if you're trying to do this, this is where you would go to see what you need to do. And it also shows you what you'll get for it on the right side. So, collect X type of materials. Get all materials is one of the Orichalcum pluses. Sorry, I was taking a drink. So there's another Orichalcum. A lot of them are like obtain all of this kind of material, obtain all ranks of materials. There's a Manifest Illusion for obtaining all rank A's. And one of the important things to note about synthesis is once you obtain X number of some of the lower tiers, like the A, B, and C tier items, you will be able to buy them at the shop. So it's 30 for shards, 25 for stones, 20 for gems. This is very helpful because if you ever need one of these things in a future recipe, then you don't have to go out and actually get it to drop from an enemy, which is really nice. So that's pretty much it. So now I will go and take a look at some of my items so you can see. Let's start with the Ultima weapon, because why not? So it has 6 strength and 4 magic. So as far as like total stats between strength and magic, I don't think anything else gets up to 10. I think the maximum is 8. Another Keyblade, so it does have that going for it. But I think probably the bigger draw for the Ultima weapon is it has MP Hastega, which will increase MP restoration rate by 75%, and that does stack on top of any abilities that you have on. So I'm just going to heal, and you can see how fast my MP is recharging. So it's pretty nice for that. Now, when it comes to base damage, unfortunately, since it has 6 strength, it does not actually beat Decisive Pumpkin for just physical combo damage, because Decisive Pumpkin has the ability on it that boosts, combo boost. So because it doesn't have that, it's actually not universally the best Keyblade, but it's still pretty nice to have in certain situations. Like, if you know you're going to be using magic and want to recover magic really quickly, it can be really good in those situations. So that's what it looks like. Let's see. I guess I'll just go back into the menu to show off the weapons for Donald and Goofy. So this is what he has equipped right now is Save the Queen Plus. It has 5 strength, 6 magic, and MP Rage on it. You can actually argue that the base Save the Queen. Why do I? I have 7 of those because I think I was trying to grind Moogle ranks. Anyways, the base Save the Queen actually has hyper healing on it, which is a pretty good ability, considering that Donald and Goofy die a lot. That'll bring them back more quickly. Obviously restores more of their HP when they get back up, and I think it stacks with the one that they get in their abilities naturally, so there's an argument to be made for choosing this over Save the Queen Plus. That being said, I do think Save the Queen Plus looks better. So I think it wins in that department at least. Goofy, so this is Save the King Plus, 9 strength, has damage control on it. If you compare that to the other one, that has item boost. I would consider damage control probably more crucial. I think Goofy already has one item boost. Sora has an item boost, and between those, I think like Ethers are basically a full heal. So, plus, I think this one wins in the looks department as well. Let's see. I think what other ones have I not shown? So here are all the mushroom ones that you get for the various different mushroom shields. Though I can show off the Frozen Pride one, so those should look familiar. That is Vexen's shield. Frozen Pride Plus actually does have MP Hastega on it, but that's not quite as important for Goofy. Also, it's only 5 strength, so it really does not compare to some of the other shields that Goofy has access to. With those out of the way, let's take a look at some of my accessories and armor. So, Cosmic Belt I think I got during the main LP. Grand Ribbon I'm not sure about, but you can see it's a pretty solid one. 4 defense, 25 resistance to everything. The regular ribbon is kind of like that, but not quite as good. Cosmic Chain I believe is a synthesizable armor piece. And the Executive's Ring, you've seen that. I think that is the final puzzle reward. Full Bloom, this is a synthesized accessory, so 5 AP, 3 strength. Shadow Archive Plus is definitely a synthesis one that's 5 AP, 3 magic. And then Cosmic Arch, which you do get during the course of the game. So I handed down some of my Acrisius Plus and regular Acrisius to Donald. Shadow Archive on him. I have a Mage Earring, that's another synthesized one. And then for Goofy, I have a Petite Ribbon. Buster Band, just a regular Aegis Chain. I kind of ran out of things at that point. So, I think that's about it for the synthesis stuff. Wait a minute. Oh, actually, you know what I should show off? Let's see. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's they're accessories. They're actually a really important thing for doing synthesis grinding. These lucky rings here. So this here I can put. Wait. Oh, I have my abilities maxed out. That's unfortunate. I could try putting it on one of these two. Okay, there, that works. No, it doesn't actually tell you, but this has the ability. I think it's Lucky on it that increases the drop rate of rare items. And so you can see from the menu, if I go back here, I have a total of 8 of these. That's basically so I can just put them on. Oops, what did I do there? So I can basically max out all my accessory slots with them. So there's 4 on Sora, 3 on Donald, 2 on Goofy. That actually adds up to 9, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, so I would recommend if you're going to do synthesis grinding, definitely get like 8 or 9 of these, put them on your characters, make sure that you have all the Luckies equipped that you can, to increase your odds of getting the synthesis items, and it'll make your life a lot easier. I think that is gonna do it for my talks on synthesis. Actually had quite a bit more to say about that than I might have expected. The last thing that I'm going to cover here is gummy ship stuff. So what I can do is I'm just going to go to Asteroid Sweep here for demonstrative purposes. So I can do I could do one of the later missions, I suppose, just to show it off. So there's mission 1, which are the metal hunts. You have to get up to metal level 30 for these. And then mission 2, you have to destroy a certain number of enemy ships in order to get better ranks on that. And then level 3 is high score runs. And these missions may have certain requirements. Okay, so it's the EX missions that have the extra requirements on them. Now, I wanted to point these out before I go into the garage because you're gonna see I built some variants of ships in order to meet some of these requirements. So this is like power of 100 or more, 250 or more power, 50 or more speed. So we'll just go for mission 3. And here are my original blueprints. Here come the donuts. There are a bunch of different varieties of donut ship. So I'll look at the base. Let's see. Where's the actual? There we go. Gummi editor. I'll go into the editor for this one just to kind of show the basic makeup of this particular one. So you can see there are blocks around the edge. You want to keep things away from the center as much as possible because shots will be aimed towards the center of your ship. So obviously if there's a hole in the center of your ship, then they'll just go straight through and they won't hurt you. Those bright objects are for power. And then the guns that I have on it are Blizzagas and are they just gravities or graviras? I forget. Let's see. Where is the copy and place gummies? So these are just your regular building gummies here. Where do you put on the guns? I don't remember. It's been a while since I have been in this editor. This editor, though, does actually show you the controls at the bottom, so it's a marked improvement over the editor from Kingdom Hearts 1. But in any case, here's your standard template for a gummy ship. So I'm gonna back out here. So this is the basic one that I came up with, just for completing missions without requirements. You can see no additional speed or maneuverability, but 84 defense, 460. I don't exactly remember what that stat's supposed to be. It's 64 power. And then I'll go through some of these other ones. So this one is obviously for power requirement of 100 or more. This is a 150. If it looks a little weird, it's because in order to get more power, one of the best ways to do that is to actually add cockpits to it. As silly as that sounds, it just adds power. This is for one that requires you to have 12 wings, I think. This is one with 20 guns. This is the low HP one, because there's a requirement for a ship with low HP. One of them requires you to not hit anything, or I guess not have any guns, something along those lines. So here's the pacifist one. This one's based on lock-on. This one is a very special one. You can see the power is 646, and there's a reason for that, which I might show off later. This one has to have wheels on it. This one has, I think, a specific set of abilities. Shields. This one has Ultima. The Ultima one's like at the bottom of it. And this one is 80 speed. This is another power one. I think I tried to go a little bit closer to the actual donut on this, so I put the cockpits kind of around the corners. This is a low cost one. This is a very low HP. And probably my favorite one right here is the Donut Regen, which has regen abilities on it, which are those leaves at the bottom there. So I'll just go for the Donut level 1 in this instance, and I just realized I'm in the editor and not selecting the mission. We'll go ahead and take on mission with the gummy ship. I have some teeny ships made here. Can't tell you exactly the thought process that's going into designing these, but They're pretty nice. So with our absolutely ridiculous looking ship, let's destroy some things.
This sure is exciting.
You can see we're just spreading damage all over the place. I do have an ability on that allows me to change the configuration of my gummy ships by pressing L2 or R2. That is very helpful. Also, one thing that I should point out, in any mission outside of the first one, you can actually control the camera yourself. So I'm doing that by pressing L1 and R1. And the game will alert you where there are certain enemies. And try to focus your attention where the enemies are. You can see we've already reached 30 on our total. So we're actually kind of in a super powered form right here. We just destroyed the mini boss. So, donut ships are pretty fun. It does take some effort to build them, but once you do, you will be reaping the rewards. I'm interested to see if I'll actually be able to beat my record or not. Let's see, it was like 33. Oh, I got hit. So the donut ship, for as good as they are, they're not completely infallible. Oops. Okay, nothing behind me anymore. Or so I thought. Alright, let's get back up to our maximum power. There we go. Alright, so we already got ourselves the S rank for this. For completion, S rank is all you need. But of course, they go higher than that because why not? Oh, yeah, I definitely beat it. We're still counting. We're almost at the end, though. There you go, there's a little gummy ship in action. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the world map. So I don't think I'm gonna go into these missions just because I'm already actually way farther along on time than I was expecting to be. But if you remember, there were 2 wheel enemies in these respective gummy ship missions. And you will need to kill them to get a treasure. And that's why I made that one ridiculous looking one with all the cockpits, is so that you can kill those as quickly as possible. But I think to finish off the Let's Play, as well as this demonstration of the gummy ship stuff, I'm going to show you the very last mission. So this is mission 3 for Assault of the Dreadnought. And I'm going to be going with the regen variant.
Let's go!
So, the regen obviously recovers health over time. Which is a very handy thing to have, because as good as the donut ship is, this will be putting it to the test in a way that basically no other levels really do. Oh, I got hit there. Lots of enemies from different sides here. You have to stay on your toes as far as which direction you're facing. Definitely make use of the radar there at the bottom to show, like, at the bottom and on the sides. Because that'll show you where enemies are located. If you're not directly facing them. got a little chaotic there for a moment, but we got it back under control. You can see how these missions would be difficult without the donut ship. It would definitely be taking a lot of fire. I almost did turn around the correct direction for that, which would have been kind of funny. Whoops. Got to be careful here with flipping the direction around because there are those doors that close on you in this section. But we have made it through. Getting into the core, you'll be able to see just how quickly we can destroy the core when we're fully powered up. Did we already get it? It's hard to tell. Okay, yeah, we already got it. However, if you thought all of this stuff up until now was crazy, the craziest part is yet to come. Ah, dang it, we got hit right at the end of that. Surprise! There's actually a boss here. You might recognize this is a special version of a boss that we faced in a previous mission, but you couldn't tell. It gets a lot crazier. To the point where I kind of suspect that they would think like you're gonna have a donut ship for this, because just look at this. You can see even with the donut ship, we're taking some significant damage. This is where the regen ability really helps. Also, game loves to psych you out with that. I actually have an ability, I think, that saves me from death one time. If you don't have it, I think you just need to get out of the way of that. But that is the final boss of the gummy ship segment.
You did right.
Okay, so my record is actually an S+7. I got S+6 this time. But that's gonna do it for the entire Let's Play. Where do I want to land here? I'll land at the postern, so I can do the outro. This has been a really long project. I talked about how far ago I did the initial planning for it, but one thing that I'm actually really proud of is that I think this is one of the first Let's Plays in a while that I did and I posted without any gaps. Like from when I published the first video to now, I don't think there were any substantial gaps in posting it, which is really awesome. I kind of did a little retrospective during the credits of the story, but it didn't feel right kind of ending it without saying at least a little bit more about kind of my thoughts on the project. Obviously, this is the game that is very near and dear to my heart, despite, I've only been playing it for like 4 years at this point. I've already played through it a total of, this will be the 4th time for the Let's Play. Well, actually, let's see. I've done... Yeah, it might be 5, actually, if I count the practice file. Anyways, I'm rambling. I've played it a lot, is the point that I'm trying to make here. And while, you know, the commentary and the gameplay may not have been up to my impossibly high standards sometimes, I think overall this was a really good project. And that's gonna do it, I think. Well, thank you for watching the Let's Play. I have been Redx Parasite, signing out.